Hi everyone, welcome to part 3 of Docker YouTube series. So today we are going to see Docker command line interface. Previously we saw how to install Docker on a EC2 instance. Let's get right into it. So once we click on the README documentation, it will take you to the commands which we'll be using in today's tutorial. Now to see what is the version of Docker install, we use Docker hyphen version. It will tell the command will tell the Docker version install. So if you want to see the information, further information about Docker, we can run Docker info command. This command will tell us what are all the number of containers, number of running instances, and stopped, and number of images. So all the information it will be able to provide. Now, if you want Docker help documentation, you can use Docker hyphen help. It will provide the list of commands that we can use. So if you want to see what are the list of commands available in Docker image command, so Docker image hyphen help. This will let you know what are all the subcommands available for Docker image. So we will be able to build, see the history, etc. So similarly, we have for Docker container hyphen help, we'll be able to see the command options available for Docker container. Similarly, for Docker network and Docker volume and so on. So this help utility is very much helpful if we do not recollect the right command. Now we will see an example how we will be able to trigger a Docker instance and run some command into it. So here we have seen info and version command. Now we are going to see how we can run an Alpine instance. So here we want to run the instance in the background. So that's why we use the detach option interactively, and TTY is what we are going to use for SSH into the particular server. So in short, we can use -dit. Let's run the command. This is going to be our first container. So the image is not available in the local. So Docker is trying to pull the image from Docker Hub. As you can see that it has downloaded. We will be able to see the Docker image. Here. So this is the Alpine image. We have downloaded it, and we can also use, as you can see, I have my images over here. So now let's see if the container is running. So we see that all these instances are running, but one specific instance which we are keen to look into is our my first container instance. So we can use grep command to filter our instance. So this is our container instance, and if we want to run any command inside it, we will be able to run using the below command. So inside the Docker, if you want to test something, we can run this. So Docker exec hyphen it, the container ID, and we can give date. So it has a return the date of that particular date and time, date command from the particular instance. We can also use ls slash, it will list the root directory of that particular instance. Okay. So this is how we enter into the container. Now, how to dynamically run a command? So without first to create the container instance and run the command inside the instance. These are two different steps. How we will be able to do it in a single step is what we are going to see over here. So this BusyBox is another Docker image where we run the image but run this a single command. So let's copy the command and we execute. So BusyBox is not available locally, so it's trying to pull from the Docker uh, hub, and as you can see, the image is running. So it has pinged the localhost 6 times and it has exited. Now if you see Docker container ls, so none of my BusyBox instance is running. But if you want to check the terminated or stopped instances, we can use ps-a. So as you can see, we are able to see that this has exited 31 seconds ago. So which means that whenever we run the command dynamically, after this command completes, it exists and does not run. Whereas if we run the same command for the alpine image, we see that it is up for 3 minutes. My first container is running for 3 minutes. So this is a quick example on how we can interact with the Docker command and how we can bring up our instance of the container, how we can run dynamic commands, and in the next session we will be seeing what is creating an account in Docker Hub and how we can create images using Dockerfile. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you like the video.